Hi, this is our Level 5 Photo Competition mat presentation. We're going to show you how to correctly mount your photographs in 8x12 mats. Let's start with a couple of things not to do on mat mounting and presentation. We have a lot of our mats that are falling apart. The maker has tried a hinge mat here, which they put a piece of tape and then they tried to make a hinge at the top of the mat, and they also put their double stick tape right over the face of the print here, which this is an incorrect way to do it. The mat did not stay together and it looks sloppy on the wall. We have the same concept going here. We have a hinge mat, which is tape on both sides. They've made a hinge on this, and then they've added tape. The problem is there's not enough double stick tape along this edge right here to hold the mat in nicely. So what we end up with is a sloppy looking mat when we're done. Same thing with this one right here. Again, we have a lot of space that we should not have in this. These are going to be up on the wall for a while, so we want to make sure that they're going to stand the test of time. So this is another one, again, where there's just not the proper tape and not the right tape. So what we want to do with this is we want to use proper mounting tape. There's going to be two different tapes we're going to use. We're going to use, this is artist tape, and it looks like masking tape. It's not. There is a difference. This is artist tape. It's available at from Golden State Art. It's also available at a place here in town called Frameworks, which is up on 37th Street North that you can get it, and perhaps other artist stores in town as well that I'm not familiar with, maybe Hobby Lobby. This is our artist tape. We're going to show you how to do that. And this is a double-sided mounting tape, very essential. Some of our students rolled a piece of tape and did the roll and stick it together. That's not going to work for us. So we want to make sure we have the actual double-sided mounting tape, and that's what this looks like right here. This again is available from Golden State Art or other suppliers around town, most likely. Okay, so we have our print here that we're going to mount today. We have a metallic print on, it's an 8x12. We want to start with 8x12 prints. Our mats are 8x12. These mats are available. City Arts carries them. If you're wanting just a few, you can check with front desk and they'll supply you with the prints, or excuse me, not the prints, excuse me, the mats and the mounting tape that you'll need. And you want an 8x12 print to start with. The first thing you're going to decide is what color of mat do we want. And so the easiest way for me is just to actually lay the print physically on the mat. And here we have this print laid on a black mat. Now you can put it inside the mat if it makes it easier, but generally you get an idea just by laying it on top and getting an idea on the color. Or you can put it on the white board, which in this case the maker preferred the white, so we're going to put this print on the white mount board. Now this comes in a plastic acetate, so of course we're going to remove the acetate. And that's kind of a nice little bag to keep your prints in until they're ready to come to competition, so you don't get scratched up. We're going to set aside our black mat. And the black mat, of course, was in acetate also. That's why it's shiny like that. So we're going to set aside our black mat because we're not going to use that one. And we're going to use the white mat. Now, what I do to get this mat in here, you want to make sure your print's mounted in correctly and straight. You're not chopping off the back of the car or any like the front of the gas pump, or you're not having any white space around that print. On the edge. You want everything, you want the print entirely behind it. So what I find works well for me is to take the print itself. We're going to need a pair of scissors, and I'm going to use some of the artist tape, and I'm going to use just 4 small pieces is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to cut a piece here, and I'm going to put it on the back side of that print, just on a diagonal, just like that right there. And I'm going to do that 3 more times. And I'm just laying it kind of lightly underneath. I'm sticking it on the back of the print. And And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the front mat board. In this case, we're using the white. And you want to make sure, now these mat boards are bevel cut, and you have a bevel that has this is a bevel cut mat, and it's kind of hard to see in this white, but the bevel is going to slant in on a 45-degree angle. This is the back side of the mat, and you're not going to have, this is the side you're going to add your adhesives to. So you're going to find the front of your mat, and you're going to lay the print down on the mat, on the table is all, and then you're going to slide this around until it looks good where you like it in the mat. You're going to look at it, and you're going to find, let's see, and I'm going to turn it over so I can get a good physical look at it, so I can make sure that my boundaries and everything are straight on this particular print. And I don't want to cut the back of that car off. I don't want to cut the top of the light post off in this particular print. I want to make sure that gas pump is in there. So I'm going to go about right there, I believe. And right there, and that's why we don't want to press anything, because right there I had white, I had space, dead space at the top of my print, because I was trying to keep this light post in. So I'm going to look at it again. And I'm going to come about here, here, there, and pretty tight, because we got the back of the car and we also have a gas pump hose. I'm going to favor the back of the car because I do not want to clip the car at all. That's the main subject of this particular image. So there we are right there. I'm looking at it, I'm looking around the edges. I have a little piece of mat board right here I don't like. I got a little piece of Chad or whatever that's sticking up. I got it down now so it's not being obtrusive. I'm looking at the print again. It looks good, and I'm going to go ahead and touch the corners now. And that's why we're holding, that's why I had the 4 pieces of tape, because now that's going to stay in the mat. And is that okay with you? Okay, so there we have the print. Now, I got a piece hanging over the edge right here. I'm just going to clip that off because I don't want that sticking out later. All right, so now what I'm going to do, if we're down to where we like it, is I'm going to add more tape to this. I'm going to take a piece right down here. I'm going to be rather liberal with the tape. Put one here. The print's not going to come up now. And I'm also going to do my 2 edges. And this is not our mounting tape, this is our artist tape. It's a one-sided artist tape. It looks just like masking tape, but it's not masking tape. Artist tape has some conservation qualities, and here is just a little bit different. Okay, so we're looking at the print. We say, yes, it looks good. We're happy with that composition. We're happy there's no edges of the print visible. We've got everything tucked in where we want it to go. So now we're going to take the backer board. And there's going to be one side of this that's going to look better than the others, and I usually put the better side out. This side just is a little smoother, nicer. Not real particular on that because it really is not visible, but just to make it a little bit nicer, I'm going to probably go ahead and put this as my inside of my mat. Now, so what we do with this is this will go together like this, and we're going to look at the entire thing. We're going to make sure it's all square, and it is. And we're going to put our adhesives down on this now. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put a hinge mat on it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my adhesive and I'm going to put it on this side of the mat, because that way I know right where it's going to go. And then I'm going to lay this down. This is going to be my inside. We'll lay that down. So your adhesive tape is a double-sided mounting tape, okay? Again, this is available from Golden State Art, or it's available here at City Arts, or you can get it at other suppliers here in town. It's a double-sided tape. It has a backing on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out. Here we have a little booger on it. Let's just go ahead and we're just going to roll that out right across the edge here. We'll make sure it's not going to come out on the edge. And I'm going to take this piece off right here because it's going to make a bump on my mat. This was just a piece of adhesive that rolled up. We're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to cut that one there. Lay that down. We're going to cut this one here. We're going to lay this one in here. And I'm going to go around all four sides because we're not going to end up with a mat that's popping like the ones I showed you at the front of the video. And we're going to lay this right here. And we're going to just pull that over to about there. Okay, and we're going to set aside our tapes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pull the back side of this tape off to expose the stickiness on both sides. Let's find an edge here we can pull. This one will pull. They do make tape guns for this, but because most of our students don't have it, we're showing it without a tape gun on this. So a tape gun does make it a little easier. However, it's very, very doable without a tape gun. And if you're not making a living matting prints, you don't have to spend that kind of money for that stuff. So let's go ahead and get our last piece of tape. It's wanting to be a little bit of a booger there. There, we got it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I've already got my sides selected out. I've got my print here, and I'm going to set it up on the end like this, and I'm going to make sure that it's very, very level on all sides, okay? I'm going to try to get it as level as I can. I'm not going to squish it yet. I'm going to get it just as level as I can on all four sides of the mat. Looks pretty good. We got a little bit of difference on the bottom here, so I'm going to shove that down just a hair, just a hair. I want it to have a nice presentation from the front of the image so that we're not having a double mat situation sticking out at us. Right now, so I'm just lightly touching it so I can still move it a little bit if I need to. I'm double checking everything. I don't have it pushed in yet, but I'm looking pretty good. I think I'm going to do it. So I'm going to flip it over this way. I'm going to put my, just going to hit it down this direction. And we're going to look at it. And should be a nice, solidly mounted print. That's the end of it.